Before we wrap, I kind of want to do this. Ask you a question, something like personal for you that people always talk to me about when they talk about you.
No rapid fire? Nothing?
No, this is better.
Okay.
Myself included, like everyone in the NBA is obsessed with like you said, like the potential, the next players. People want to see like that next, that's why we love the draft and Cameron Boozer and AJ DeBance and all these guys, and they love seeing these guys. It's kind of started with like LeBron's games being like, televised in high school and things like that. So everyone's obsessed with, especially in this day and age, being like the number one player in the country. Not a lot of people could say that they were that. You were that.
Yeah.
Can we kind of talk about for a little bit, 5-10 minutes, what that was like in your life being the number one player in the country, but the way players on other teams went against you, the attention you got. Like, not a lot of people get to say that they were that, and I'm sitting across one that did. So I think it was really cool to kind of share your experience.
Yeah, I mean, it's just an expectation.
First of all, when did you even get there? Like, you weren't number one your whole...
Yeah, I was number one I was number three. The first time I got on the map is 6th grade. I was ranked number 3 in the country as a 6th grader. So whatever that means. But still,
they had rankings back then.
Yeah,
I know they do now.
Oh yeah, they did.
Yeah,
they did, man. If I told you the names, you would never heard of these guys. But like the guys are ranked number 1 and 2, and it was. Remember LaQuinton Ross?
Man, yeah.
Remember like these guys and like the guy named Matt Carolino he played at Indiana. Like some of these dudes you wouldn't know, but like Stevie Taylor played at. These guys all like ranked super high in like middle school, whatever. Obviously, you grow and things change, but like, so then I went 6th grade. I'm ranked number 3. Then by the time I'm like 7th and 8th grade, I fell back to like 15, 16, 18. I don't know why. Maybe I think I changed teams or something that could affect it. And then you're not in the big tournaments anymore and stuff like that. But whatever. In high school, let's get to the real shit. 9th grade, I was ranked like top 20, I think. By my sophomore year, I was ranked like top 10. And then I went to the City of Palms and really started cutting up, and I started moving up. And by my junior year, I was like 4. I was like 3. I was like 3 or 4. And then midway through my junior year, they were like, "Yeah, we're gonna make you number 1." And then I was the number 1 player pretty much my whole junior season and senior season. I was the number 1 player in the country. What it felt like, I don't know. I was always ranked number 1 in the state of Florida, so. It's
kind of like you cared more about like the state.
Yeah, I was always the guy. So like it made no difference whether somebody on the internet put Brad ahead of me or Gilchrist ahead of me. I was always the guy. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I was better than them. So I still think I'm better than them.
Well, so Anthony Davis came along. He was like the late bloomer that came along with the growth spurt and everything like that, right?
Yeah, AD came out of nowhere. AD was like one of those like things that just happen. Every class has this dude that kind of just pops up.
Yeah,
that was kind of AD. Came out of nowhere. He was never on the scene ever. And then like his junior year had like a 10-inch growth spurt, some crazy shit like that. And then he was a guy. So it was pretty much me, AD, Brad, Gilchrist. That was our main group. So yeah, dealing with it. It's different now at NIL. You get even more attention. Now you're getting money and sponsors. So it would have been a lot more wild for me. But that was prime mixtape days as well. I had them following me my whole senior year. So was Ball's Life. There was a lot of cameras, which was not normal for that time. Now there's cameras everywhere.
A lot of pressure where everyone knows you're number 1. They're giving you your best. Every game's being filmed by Ball's Life, all that stuff. Like, did you feel like, man, like?
No, I loved it. I was so into it. I was like, man, I can't wait to put a movie up. So
tonight. you didn't feel like that.
Bro. Oh, okay. Every game, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna do something crazy. You just go out there and you're like, yeah, the people. I used to get really turned off if I'd go play a game and there wasn't people there. I'd feel like disrespected. I was like, they didn't come to see me play. It's crazy. They don't understand what they're missing. Yeah, that's all I was thinking. I was like, you couldn't tell me anything at 17 years old. I was like, how dare they not see me? I'm special. You know what I mean? Like that's the confidence I had. Like you couldn't tell me.
And if you like missed a shot, you had the overrated chance and all that good
stuff.
Yeah.
But then by like the end of the game, it's just like, bro, we beat everybody pretty bad, and obviously I was averaging like 30 something. You know what I mean? Like. You just cooking everybody, but there's an expectation there, and you got to live up to it. So it's no different than when an NBA champion wins, and the next year you're getting everybody's best shot. This year will be harder for OKC to win than last year because every team you play, you're not sneaking up on nobody. Spurs are giving you their best game. They beat you. You get the best game because you're the champs. That's why we haven't seen nobody repeat in a long time. It's very hard to win with expectation, getting everyone's best. When I became the number 1 player, pretty much sophomore year on is when it changed. But even my freshman year, I started.
Like being top 20 in the country is a huge deal. But
Yeah.
you were not obviously like not satisfied.
Nah, I wasn't. I was like, I gotta be the top guy. Or I wanted to be one of the dudes. Top 20 for me was like ugly. I was like, oh no, that's like fringe McDonald's. I don't want that.
That's how people look at it, by the way, right? Like you can admit to that. Like
no, yeah.
You would think about it in terms of like, am I making the McDonald's
game?
Yeah,
20 is like you're cutting it. You know what I mean? Like, so I was just like, that was going into my sophomore year. By the end of my sophomore year, I was like top 10. So after that point, it was done. And then I just shot up by like beginning. It wasn't even. I think it was before my. I think I said middle of my junior season. I think it was before because it was my summer for AAU. My sophomore going into my junior year AAU, I started really putting people. I mean, I led Peach James scoring. I started really like hooping, and that's when I went from like 9 to like 2. And it changed overnight.
It was like three things too. Right? You're the number one player. Your style of play was like very mixtape. Like everyone was loving this. Everyone wanted to watch you play. Some people,
I had the quick first steps. I was
some people are high level players, but like their mixtapes aren't that good.
Yeah, they're boring players. Yeah.
Okay, and then on top of it, your Doc Rivers and Doc's like at the peak of his like
that
coaching career, where he's like
Doc.
Yeah, he's
Doc
coaching
he's like walking
walking
on water at that point.
Yeah.
Everybody thought he was like the second coming of Pop. Everybody's like, he's black. He's better. He's Black Pop. He was. That was like peak Rivers right there. It was a lot of fun. I would just say expectation. It's harder to perform, compete with expectation all the time. There were some AAU games where it'd be so packed that like you'd be careful landing on a dunk or lake because people were under the basket because like there's no rooms in the sides. Like Disney didn't prepare for that. There's like 12 games going on. You get like 50 people each game. We got 800 people in this corner lot at the Milk House because I'm playing. It's every game though. So like you got to put up 30 every game. AAU is the only time it'd get overwhelming because like you're playing 3 games in a day. So like sometimes I didn't have it. One time I played and I didn't want to play, but my coach asked me to play because they would bring a lot of scouts there and he's trying to get some kids looked at. That's literally why I played a game one time. I ended up running into Shabazz Napier, who was charged to play me. Never heard of this kid. He had like 42. He's out here frying, talking to me. I'm like, who's this? But I didn't, you know what I'm saying? I had the flu and I just came back from, this is a true story. Had the flu and was coming back from LeBron James Skills Academy camp. We already played the Peach Jam. We already did all the...
No one. You were doing a favor for some teammates getting looked at.
I had no interest in playing this game, and I got dragged out there to go do it. And it was a valuable lesson. I remember my dad came to that game, and he's like, never, ever, ever play unless you go and play. I don't give a hurt, sick, this. No one cares once the ball goes up. If you're going to play, you got to play. He goes, that kid from Boston kicked your ass. That was Shabazz. After that, I never did that ever again. This was my junior year. I never let nobody do that to me ever again. That was a lesson. I was like, I'll never... If I'm going to play, I'm going to play. Otherwise, I'm sitting my ass out. So that's the only time it got overwhelming with the camps and the invites and all this. Then tournament, 3 games in a day. And then expectations every game. It's like, some games I'm not having 30-something guys. By the way, my AU team was loaded. I played like Brandon Knight, another guy. Like, I didn't have to have that. Some nights, like James Bell would have 32. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't. So that's the only thing. But high school-wise, it was a movie.
And you're obviously like, you love the game of basketball. That was pure hoops, not about all the other stuff, right? How do you compare that to the days of like when you were playing for the Clippers that year where you were one of the main guys after everyone else? It was like you and like what?
That's pressure. That's actual pressure. When you got to perform, when you're getting paid.
But like when you're in the NBA getting more of a green light versus your fun. What was more fun? Getting that kind of green light on the Clippers or like your high school days where you're just like a rock star going through?
High school's more fun because there's no pressure. It's like just purity. You're playing like your friends. After we'd like, go to the movies together. You know what I mean? Like
little Chick-fil-A.
Yeah, like these are like my boys. I've known Robert and all my friends I grew up playing with since I was 5 years old. Some of these guys are the first friends I made in Orlando. So the joy and purity of the game is unmatched in high school. I don't care who you are. In terms of rewarding the NBA, having like a big game in the NBA, the way you feel, the adrenaline hitting a big 3 or silencing a crowd or hitting a big shot on the road or even at home and having the crowd lift up, you can't emulate that. And I tell people all the time, people are like, what do you miss about playing? Do you ever miss that you retired early? You didn't even try to play? That's the biggest thing. People are like, why aren't you playing? Because I'm 33 and I'm still capable of being in the NBA. I didn't get a full guaranteed contract. I didn't even get a partial guaranteed. So everything that was on the table was for me to whether go to camp or go to overseas or go to G League or get it out the mud. That's what I was getting going into year 12. Prior to that, I always got a guaranteed deal. when I didn't get anything, and then I got this other thing, the media thing, really like going.
Yeah.
I got one door like bursting open, and they're like, "Yo, we'll do this," and the other door is like, "For us to do this, you got to do this, and it's more time away from your kids." Guys, I just walked through the door, and then before you know it, the other door just closed. Because now,
but when you were still NBA shape, everything like that was a couple of years ago. You got, and I think we could talk about it now, right? You got an offer overseas that was from one of the main teams, which is like the closest thing to being in the NBA.
3 of them. I'm not gonna say that,
but that was probably that had to. I remember you were a little excited about that, like the possibility.
Because
you were talking to me about
I was like, man, I can go play.
Yeah, because one day you're not going to be able to. Like, this is
over.
another year for me to just make money doing the thing I love.
Yeah, go hoop. And they're talking about $1 million. You know, they're talking about paying me. You know, they're going to pay me over $1 million to go play. You know what I mean? Like, especially when I first got out, I got offers from like it was like I got all of them, and they were multi-million-dollar contracts. But my kids weren't coming with me, man. So, like, I couldn't do it. I already missed too much. I missed too many birthdays. I missed my first time my son walked. I missed my first, I missed a Christmas. I missed Thanksgiving. I'm not doing it no more.
Yeah.
I only got this window for my kids to be kids either. So, it's like, my fiance talks about it all the time with me. She's like, I hope, one day I'm going to make sure as your partner that your kids understand how early you walked away from basketball. I walked away from the NBA guys at 31 years old. I walked away from basketball at 31. Forget the NBA. I could have played overseas. I could, like you said.
For sure. This guy's doing it right now. Playing overseas.
I didn't even try. I didn't even go overseas. I never stepped foot in a G League. I never went. I never tried to do a 10-day again. I never went to camp with anybody. I didn't do anything, guys. I just walked away. Everyone's like, man, you didn't make. You're not in the NBA, bro. I didn't try. And when I didn't get a guaranteed deal, when my agent was like, yo, no one's offering you a guaranteed contract, and then I got ESPN and NBC, all these other places like, yo, you want to do this? It just seemed like one door was closing, the other one's opening. God's telling me to go this way. And this way I get to be with my kids all the time. It just was a sacrifice I had to make. Do I miss it? Yeah, I miss it all the time. I'm into reality and what I could do right now and moving forward. And right now I could dominate this space after basketball. My dad's career after basketball is more influential than his playing days. My dad made an all-star game. My dad was McDonald's All-American. He was all those different things. Ain't nobody knows shit about that. Everyone knows Doc for being a coach. He made his legacy after basketball. That only was a valuable example that I had right in front of my eyes growing up. That, man, after basketball, you can be even bigger. You can be even better. You can be even more influential. So that's where I'm at now. And now I got this media space that people are clinging to that we're doing, and it's just a start. So I like where I'm at. I miss it, but I like where I'm at. I'm very thankful that we have this. And that's why you guys need to like and subscribe.